HMT Pre-National Sports 600. HMT, of course, Whole Beach Motorcycle Tyres Limited, a loyal supporter of ThundersportGB. This class for rookies on Formula and Super Stock 600 machines, and on pole position there is number 64, Chris Helliwell, who's having a very good weekend so far at Snet. Second place on the grid, number 60, Christopher Green on the Yamaha R6 and the yellow machine there. Third up, Jamie Morris, 199. Good to have Jamie back in the paddock. He's with us as much as he can afford. He's a photographer and a very good one at that. Also keen on the racing. Got himself on the front row. Wet tyres on there, you can see. We have had some dry parts on the circuit as we look now at number 33, Mark Burdett. Second in the championship is Mark on the Kawasaki number 33. Always keep an eye out, of course, for number 224, the championship leader, Barry Teasdale. Well, he's not had such a great weekend so far. Crashed out on Saturday here at Snetterton. He had a huge lead in the championship, but that looks set to be cut as we get ready for the start of this race. It looked like a good start there from the yellow machine. Number 60, Chris Green, as they make their way into the first corner, but it's not. It's going to be Helliwell that takes the lead. Chris with a slightly different colour scheme to his machine this weekend on his Yamaha R6. It was a blue and white bike, but different fairings here in this race. And well, he started the weekend in 7th place, but has certainly climbed the standings after a very decent Saturday here at Snetterton. You can see the conditions here, still wet, there's still a little bit of spray, but by the time we get to the end of the 11 laps, we may see one or two torn up wet tyres. It's Helliwell that leads with the fluorescent yellow helmet, with Mark Burdett, that looks like, on the Kawasaki number 33, tucked in just behind. And as they exit Brundle and Nelson, it is Helliwell that leads. You see there, 199, that's Jamie Morris from High Wycombe. Trackside Image is his company. Check it out on the internet. Travels to a lot of the BSB events and takes photos. See a bit further down, Adam Extance has been there or thereabouts for the majority of the season, as has Greg Scanlon and Stephen Kaplan. Chris Wilkinson is a regular, but at the moment, you can see the rain still coming down. It's Helliwell from Burdett. Number 93 there is Ben Neary, up into 3rd place ahead of Jamie Morris. Ben Neary, we've seen up at the sharp end. He's had a few moments here and there during the season, and the spray really kicking up now as we head into the new part of the 200 circuit, Montreal. A hairpin and then flick left onto the Bentley Straight. Ben Neary then in 3rd place, looking to close the gap down on the leaders, and it looks like there's going to be a change as Mark Burdett later on the brakes, but he's got that inside line and it doesn't work out for him in the end. Chris Helliwell through Brundle, and then Nelson regains the lead. Chris Helliwell here on Saturday, I've got to tell you, has got some crew with him, around about 15 deep. But there was filling up the bar last night here at Snetterton, cheering him on after taking victories. But these weather conditions are treacherous. It's all very well making the odd mistake in the dry around a place like Snetterton, and any circuit for that matter, but you really have to adapt your riding style for the wet. You have to make every decision perfect. You can't really afford to drift offline. You can't afford to trail the brakes. And Mark Burdett there just fans out of the slipstream and has a look up the inside as they go into the double right-hander, or double right apex Ritchies, before heading up towards Montreal. It's a good spot for overtaking this. Mark Burdett again having a look up the inside, but not making it stick further back there. That was number 35, Anthony Charlie, and there's 1-2-16 Young. Dean would have preferred a dry circuit, caught up with him yesterday and is in good spirits, has been a part of the ThundersportGB paddock for every year since it began in 2008. The rain's still pouring down, but it's still Chris Helliwell here, who could end up this weekend in the top 3 of the championship if he keeps up with this. Mark Burdett in 2nd. Well, before we came to Snetterton, he was some 123 points behind Barry Teasdale, but with Barry not really picking up any points in the championship this weekend, there's a chance during the 4 races at Snetterton for them to catch up again. onto the start-finish straight. You can see Helliwell's fans cheering him on as he crosses the line to tick off another lap, and he's got himself a bit of breathing space this time as he tips into Ritchie's. He's just pulled the pin a little bit on Mark Burdett in second. He'll be content for now just to remain where he is. Ben Neary still in third place with Jamie Morris fourth. We see Adam Extance and Michael Golden going through there. 43 is Chris Wilkinson, and then there's 25, Josh Hill. Josh, a former super team, moving up onto the 600. And number 89, a rider with the orange vest on there, to state that he is a rookie, as most of these riders are in this class. That was Ben Dovey from Southampton. Oh, and there's a crash there. Is that the race leader? The bike cartwheeling as they come down the back straight and into Brundle and Nelson, and it is Chris Helliwell that's fallen. Luckily, he gets up and walks away. Mark Burdett, well, he must have been keeping his eyes on the bike that was cartwheeling down, and a lot of the pit wall there wondering where Chris Helliwell has gone. But Mark Burdett it is that is the race leader, and look at the lead he has now, some 10 seconds. Surely there'll be someone on pit wall that notifies him of that, but that was a monstrous crash for Chris Helliwell. Not good for the championship, that one. And that now promotes Ben Neary up to second, Jamie Morris in third. There's Michael Golden, and that's Extance, Adam Extance, with number 35 going through. It's Anthony Charlie, and then look at this, three abreast as they come into Ritchie's. Oh, and there's a faller, is there? Yes, there is. There's a faller there, and it's number 35. We just mentioned him. Anthony Charlie looks as though he's either lost the front end on the second part of Ritchie's or maybe just lit up the rear end with a high side, but he's up and he walks away to the hay bales. There was once a potato field there, so he'll be pleased there's just hay bales to sit on now. There's Mark Burdett, the race leader. There's still some debris on circuit where Chris Helliwell fell on the last lap, and yes, you can see that Mark Burdett nice and gently through each corner, making sure that he's off the brakes and everything very smooth on the throttle, which is more than could be said for the fights going on further behind. That there is, you see Stephen Kaplan and Greg Scanlon, Adam Extance trying to get themselves up there, and the yellow bike is Christopher Green, number 60, who would have been hoping for a dry race, I'm sure. 33, Burdett goes through. He is your race leader, and look at the lead he has now ahead of Ben Neary, number 93. Ben could do with some decent points. He's up in 8th in the championship as he goes through Ritchie's corner and then up towards Montreal. Jamie Morris there, still in touching distance of Ben Neary in 3rd place. And then there's number 99, Stephen Kaplan, ahead of Greg Scanlon. Greg, another rider that's been in the Thundersport paddock for quite some time, from Caversham, sponsored by himself, Scanlon Carpentry. 156 going through there. It's Paul Goodwin from Blackpool. And number 13, Luke Shelley, another newcomer from Tamworth, sponsored by All Weather Leisure. Well, you've certainly got all weather here. Sun is coming out on various parts of the circuit, but there's going to be no signs of a dry line appearing before the end of this race. As you see, the race leader, Mark Burdett, heading around Coram Curve and then down into Murray's, just a normal left-hander now. Quite tricky to navigate. It's important to get the speed into the turn right, and then, of course, on the power as early as possible as he makes his way down the start-finish straight. Someone on pit wall with their arms wide open, and I can only imagine that's either somebody that's a massive fan or somebody notifying him that he has quite a lead in this race and there's no need to push, as Ben Neary there in 2nd place. Is he being closed down by Jamie Morris? You know, I think Jamie can sniff a 2nd place here. He's guaranteed a podium. Jamie only turns up to the odd round or two, so he's not got a championship to fight for, nothing to really lose, plenty to gain. There's number 99, Stephen Kaplan, just up behind Greg Scanlon. That's the battle for 4th and 5th place, with Chris Green in 6th. And Adam Extance a bit further behind. Race leader again on the bright green Kawasaki. 33, Mark Burdett, racing for the Ibstock Kawasaki. Into Coram Curve he goes once more. And further back, that is Greg Scanlon, number 131 on the white and black Yamaha R6 just ahead of another R6, although it's quite confusing because he has got the Kawasaki colours on that Yamaha R6 just behind Greg Scanlon there. Last lap flag is out as number 32, Mark Greenslade, is about to be lapped by the race leader, Mark Burdett. Nice and gently does it, Mark, as he heads around Ritchie's and makes quite light work of the back marker. And there is Greg Scanlon, number 131. We've lost, I understand, Ben Neary somewhere. Ben Neary has gone off circuit. Not sure what's happened to him, and Ben was in second place, so Greg Scanlon there, you see, just ahead of Stephen Kaplan. That's now the fight for third place. There's number 89, Ben Dovey, in 8th place behind Chris Green and Adam Exton. So Chris Green has lost a little bit of time also in the closing stages of this race. So Jamie Morris is on for second place. He's got no chance of catching this man though. Mark Burdett, just a couple of corners remaining now before he takes a fine win in the Whole Beach Motorcycle Tyres Pre-National Sport 600 race. Could, of course, if he gets the most points from this weekend, win a ride in the Sportsman Elite class at ThundersportGB. The checkered flag is outweighed by Dave, and it is Mark Burdett that takes the win here at a rainy Snetterton. He is delighted with that. Barry Teasdale has so far dominated this championship. Chris Helliwell dominated yesterday, and now Mark Burdett gets his name on a winner's trophy. He looks behind. You'll be waiting a while to see anyone behind you, Mark. It's a fine win for him. Jamie Morris, I can confirm, has come across the line in second. Good result for Jamie. Does Greg Scanlon know that he's got third place as he crosses the line there ahead of Stephen Kaplan, who is confirmed in fourth? It's 5th place for Adam Exton's number 36, the leading Honda rider, and Chris Green finishes in 6th on the yellow Yamaha 6. There he is in the middle then, the winner, Mark Burdett, Jamie Morris on the left, Scanlon on the right.
Greg Scanlon, 3rd place, fantastic.
Well, yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Obviously, I wasn't really in 3rd place, but 2 rides I think went down, which is how I got the position, but still, I'm pleased with the trophy.
Well, you know what they say, to finish first you have to finish.
Exactly.
And you kept it shiny side up.
Yeah.
Have you got some people you'd like to thank?
Sorry?
Have you got some people that you'd like to thank?
Unfortunately, I haven't got anyone I'd like to thank, so I've got no sponsors, but thanks for my family for putting up with me, disappearing at weekends and spending all our money so we can't go on holiday. But if anyone wants to sponsor me, then there's a lot of room on my bike, which is white, waiting for your sticker on it.
Fantastic, thanks, Greg. Jamie Morris, 2nd place. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, it was good. It's slidey, like, it's hard, but managed to, a couple of people falling off, managed to come through, get away with it. So yeah, happy.
Well, you kept it shiny side up, which is the main thing. And of course, these weather conditions are a bit intermittent, so you don't really know where you are, do you?
Yeah, a couple of times the rain come down a bit harder, and thought, well, shall I roll it off a bit? But it weren't too bad in the end.
Where did you find it slipperiest?
I'm struggling with getting onto the back straight, just a bit of confidence getting on the power, and I'm losing out there a bit.
Well, that's the new corner, which is Montreal and Chapman's, and so that's new to everybody this time.
But yeah, I think I seem to be losing out a bit more than most, just with confidence, really. But yeah, we'll get it.
Anyone to thank me?
Yeah, it's my dad's birthday today, so wish him a happy birthday. Thank my family and my missus and everybody for coming with me all the time. Thanks a lot.
Well done. Thank you very much, and well done. Mark Burdett, you must be over the moon with this one.
It's my first proper win on a 600, and what a way to do it. I absolutely love that. I mean, I love the first half of the race where me and Chris were having that battle, and it was so unfortunate, and it's made a mess of his bike. But I think he was trying to push going into the left-hander after the back straight, because I tried to overtake him there the lap before, and I think he just pushed it a bit too hard and lost it. But after that, I've got my team telling me to slow down. I've got plenty of gap, and I had, slowed down. But I mean, it's so slippy out there. I mean, I had a lot of moments, but absolutely over the moon with that. Absolutely over the moon.
Well, yeah, it was really good. Really tricky conditions. And where did you find it slip wrist out there?
There was a few places I was struggling really coming onto both straights. Both left-handers, your right cranked over, cold side of the tyre, and it doesn't like it. I had a few moments coming out of Murray's onto this straight, and the same going onto the back straight. It's not nice on the left side today.
Well, like you say, the first half of the race, I mean, you pushed hard. You won the race there, and then you brought it home. Well, very well done. And who have you got to thank?
Oh, I've got to thank all my sponsors. Elite again have come today. I've got to thank my pit crew, Mick Rowland, Adrian McDowell, and my dad. I got in trouble last time because I forgot to thank my dad. So thank you, Dad.
Very well done, mate. Go and get ready for the next one.
All right, thanks, mate.
It all started back in 1976. Orleans, the original gold. We've always stayed ahead of the competition by keeping our clients ahead of the competition. Whether you're a professional racer or simply looking for the perfect driving experience, Orleans shock absorbers offer superior performance, safety, and comfort. We are the cutting edge of racing technology. And with over 30 years of experience and a never-ending flow of innovations, we intend to keep pole position. Our dedicated staff works side by side with the greatest racing teams in the world to deliver suspension without suspense. Simply put, Orleans shocks are state-of-the-art for motorcycles, cars, four-wheels, and snowmobiles. The number of fans and customers are growing, and the demand for excellent service is increasing. To be in the forefront of advanced suspension takes passion, a passion for perfection in every detail, in every part. With more than 200 World Championship titles in racing, we boast with the very latest technological advancements in both conventional and electronic suspension systems. Our world-leading product lines, TTX and CES, are the result of this devotion to detail and innovation. All products undergo numerous tests to ensure optimal function and quality. To us, striving for excellence is common sense. The future of high-performance suspension is here. Join us.
Race 2, the HMT Pre-National Sports 600s. We saw a wet race earlier where Mark Burdett, number 33 on the Kawasaki, took victory, but pole position for this one with dry tyres on should be number 64, Chris Helliwell, but no sign of him. I wonder if that crash from race 1 has meant that he's not able to attend this, whether it's down to the bike or injury, but that means Chris Green has inherited the first place, Jamie Morris second from High Wycombe, and number 33 there is your race 1 winner, Mark Burdett, with a little nod to the camera in appreciation. So lap time should be coming down. Christopher Green, despite not really faring too well in race 1, he finished in 6th, was looking very good in qualifying in the dry. Expecting to see lap times in and around the 1:17s here for race winner. And as the riders get underway, Mark Burdett once again with a good start, but Christopher Green around the outside on the yellow Yamaha R6 gets away best. There's number 93, Ben Neary, who should have been on the podium in race 1, but fell on lap 7 of 11. And it's Christopher Green that leads from Burdett. Jamie Morris is in 3rd place. Was that a good start from Chris Wilkinson, number 43 on a Yamaha R6, as you look at Adam Extance there on the Honda, number 36. A scream down towards Brundle and then into Nelson. And looking further back, there's no Barry Teasdale out in this race, and with no Chris Helliwell either, there's some big points up for for grabs for the likes of Burdett, Wilkinson, Dean Pearce, Joe Newbold, Michael Golden, Neary, Scanlon and Extance. Could really close the championship up, as you just see, 126 there. That is Dean Young. 2 wheels warehouse Yamaha that he rides for. All of these riders pretty new to racing in terms of experience, as Christopher Green crosses the line as the race leader at the end of lap 1. Jamie Morris in 3rd, they're closing in, and it was a good start for number 43, Chris Wilkinson from Scunthorpe. The red and black leathers there on the blue R6. We saw some good performances from him at the start of the season, and he's just taking that wide approach to Montreal. A bit of a moment there for Jamie Morris. Jamie, who owns his own photography company, Trackside Image. He'd come racing all the time if he could afford it. Most of these riders looking for sponsorship, but it's green that leads from Mark Burdett, number 33, Morris in 3rd, Wilkinson 4th. Further back, we've got number 99, Stephen Kaplan of the RAF, and sponsored by Steve Lynham Motorcycles. He's trying to bridge that gap to the top 4, but on these opening few laps, Christopher Green certainly has got some decent pace and is willing to push it perhaps that little bit more than Jamie Morris and Mark Burdett behind. Burdett will know, of course, with no Halliwell or Barry Teasdale out on circuit, that points is a must really here. He cannot afford to throw it down the road if he wants to stay in the hunt for this championship, and is moved up to 2nd. So he's not listened to a word I've said. Scrap consistency. I'm going to go for the win, he says. So up the inside of Morris with the green wheels. Morris fighting back though, and there's a rider down there, and that's Adam Extance, that silver Honda. Adam Extance has come down and just looking like he may be a bit winded there. Adam was 10th in the championship, but he probably slipped down out of the top 10 after that crash. Still green that leads from Burdett. 199 is Morris, and then 4th place there with the blue Yamaha R6 is Chris Wilkinson, as they go past the scene of the crime where Adam fell earlier. That's in between the bomb hole and Coram curve. Now, if that's a high side out of the bomb hole, then that will be sore in the morning. That's a quick place to be coming off a motorcycle here at Snetterton. 1.99 miles, this 200 circuit. Further down the grid, incidentally, Stephen Elliott, number 81, racing for the Royal Navy. Of course, they have their separate championship, the Combined Military Services Championship to look at. A series that's being led by Simon Critchlow of the RAF, ahead of Mick Riddle and Steve Kaplan, Tim Daisley and Rob Chisholm of the Army, and it's Bill Callister of the Navy that leads the Navy hunt. So points make prizes in that championship, just as much as the pre-national Sport 600 class here, sponsored by Whole Beach Motorcycle Racing Tyres, and there is a bigger prize in store for the man that collects the most points in this race and over the weekend. Provided you've not taken the accolade already, you win an entry into the Sportsman Elite Championship at ThundersportGB for the following round. You get free setup advice from PC Suspension, and some tyres as well thrown in from HMT, Whole Beach Motorcycle Tyres. At the moment, this is good going from Christopher Green. He wouldn't take the most points as it stands though, because Mark Burdett is looking good in 2nd place, but he's being kept very honest at the moment. Jamie Morris and Chris Wilkinson just shadowing his every move, and Morris up the inside into Montreal. Textbook move there from Morris. Managed to hold the line tight, and it's just about trying to get on the power early now as they exit Montreal and onto the Bentley Straight. Morris currently lapping similar pace to that of Christopher Green. There's a stationary yellow flag just being held out there, so there's a possibility that someone may have fallen around this section here, and the slippery surface flag is out, the lack of adhesion flag, whichever one you want to call it. Wide exit there from Jamie Morris on the exit of the bomb hole. Almost run out of room, almost run out of tarmac, but holds it tight, and he's pulled away from Burdett and Wilkinson here. Let's have a look at the lap times as they come across the line once more. Race leader coming up to cross the line and tick off another lap. Christopher Green from Ormskirk on the yellow Yamaha R6. That's a 1:17.01, and it's a 1:17.02 from Jamie Morris. So not a lot to split between Green and Morris, but there is about 2.5 seconds splitting them as we speak. The riders in third and fourth, Burdett and Wilkinson, are doing 18s. There's number 35 and number 25. 35, Anthony Charlie. 25, Josh Hill. Josh Hill, former Super Teen rider from Sheffield. Number 60, though, is your race leader. Christopher Green tips into the bomb hole. Just goes through that dip. You can see the rear tyre just wobbling around as he went into the bomb hole. But this is a consistent laps, you've got to say, from Christopher Green. There's no sign of Morris being able to close that gap at the moment. So Morris will be hoping for a mistake maybe, but it's a good effort from Morris. He's broken away from Burdett and Wilkinson, and I think Chris Wilkinson's got himself up ahead of Mark Burdett. So Burdett, having been up in second place at one point, has lost out a few. There's 199 Morris in second. In the background, that's Mark Greenslade. Mark, number 32 from Catterick, racing under the British Army race team banner. He's just being lapped. There is 131 and 99. That's Greg Scanlon and Stephen Kaplan, and Scanlon up the inside, just inside the top 8, these two riders. Green it is that still leads, just maintaining that 2.5 second gap over Jamie Morris in second place. Morris will be there to pick up the pieces if Green makes a mistake, but at the moment every single line is inch perfect from Green. It's that battle for third place that looks the closest at the moment between Chris Wilkinson, number 43, and Mark Burdett, number 33. Last lap flag is out now then, so just under 2 miles for Christopher Green to complete and take 25 points in the championship. He's not attended any of the other rounds, so he won't feature necessarily in the championship, as Jamie Morris likewise in second place, but it's a good ride from the pair of them. Further back, this is the fight for 5th. Kaplan leading Greg Scanlon. Now, at the moment, Mark Burdett, number 33, is ahead of Chris Wilkinson for 3rd. It just shows you what a difference a round can make. Coming into Snetterton, Barry Teasdale's lead in this championship was 123 points. Now, by my reckoning, if Burdett finishes in 3rd, the gap will be down to 42 by the time we get to Rockingham. That is some difference, and that's due to Barry Teasdale falling in race 1 of the weekend here on Saturday. However, here, race 2 on Sunday at Snetterton, on the home straight, the yellow Yamaha R6 Ormskirks. Christopher Green takes the win at Snetterton in the HMT Pre-National Sport 600. 2nd, a good result there for Jamie Morris, and had he have got off to a better start, he could have matched the pace and lap times of Green for sure, but as it is, Green takes the win ahead of Morris. Burdett does secure 3rd place, 0.4 of a second ahead of Chris Wilkinson in 4th. Stephen Kaplan collects 5th place, just ahead of Greg Scanlon, number 131. There's Green in the middle, the winner from Jamie Morris on the left, and Burdett on the right.
Mark Burdett, 3rd place on the grid, and podium right there. Mark Burdett, 3rd place man on the podium. Did that go well for you? You like the rain and the dry? It's not so good.
No, we've not got such a good dry setting. I mean, we were struggling a bit yesterday, but you know, I've done well. I've done better than I thought I would in the dry, because like I say, just wasn't working. But I had some good race. These two obviously very quick. I couldn't keep up with them, but all in all, a good day.
Well, you've got to count this as a really good weekend for you anyway. I mean, have you got to thank?
I've got to thank my sponsors, Elite, all my pit crew and everyone who've come to help this weekend. Not a bad weekend for my first time at Snetterton.
Excellent, very well done, mate. Jamie Morris, 2nd place. What sort of race did you have?
Yeah, it was good. Preferred the wet to prefer the dry to the wet, obviously. Not brilliant start. Sort of, I got held up a bit. Leader got a bit of a gap. Once it got clear, because there was a yellow flag for a few laps, which in a place where I was strong, struggled to get past. But once I eventually got past, sort of pulling him back a little bit, but ran out of time in the end.
Have you done this circuit before?
No, I've never raced a 200. No, I've never raced a 300 either. So it's the first time on this new since it's had the infield bit put in.
Okay. How did you find the Montreal Chapman bit, which used to be Sears?
Yeah, I don't mind it really. I used to really like the old circuit, but yeah, I don't mind this one at all really.
Okay, well done. Who would you like to thank, mate?
Just thank family, my dad, mum, missus, sister, everybody who comes to watch me every time I race. So thanks a lot.
Excellent, very well done.
Cheers, mate.
And Chris Green. Well, you must be very, very happy with that, because those levers have seen a bit of work, I can see.
Well, after a big off yesterday, it's a bit of a relief to get it finally on the podium and do one. I've not had a podium in Thundersport before, so I'm happy with that. It was a smooth, consistent ride, so got out in the front at the start and just stayed there, so it was good. Enjoyed it. So.
Well, I can see you've got a bit of a limp there from your battle scars, so it's always nice to have a win. That makes it feel a bit better, eh?
Definitely. As I say yesterday, I got out in the front early on. I was pushing too hard, really. I just made one mistake and it spat me off. So today I got out in front. I just took it steady and hopefully as I did, I just went out and won the race. So I was happy with that.
Brilliant, Chris. Who do you want to thank?
My family, my mum, my dad, my girlfriend, all the family, as I say. Terry Shillington, he's not here this weekend, but he's helped out a lot. So cheers for that. Thank you.
Congratulations. Very well done.
Cheers. Thank you.